Sup, nerds? I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
We're getting on the cruise ship.
So at its core, The Crew is a pretty typical trick-taking game where there are multiple suits. All the suits have numbers on them. The first card played is the suit that you are playing in, and then every other player has to put a card in that is the same suit if able, and the highest card of that suit wins the trick, and that player gets to take the cards. The thing that makes it unique is the fact that it's a cooperative game, and it's fully cooperative, so it's not even like you and your partner are playing.
Yeah, the way that like spades would be.
Yeah, exactly, but it is truly everyone is trying to complete the game together because everyone has like specific tasks, which are these little cards here.
Well, you draft the tasks first of all. The tasks come out and you draft them, the tasks say basically I need to win. If it was this one here, the 6 of red, and by the way, the cards go 1 to 9 in 4 different colors, each with actually like a little symbol, like a square, a triangle, a circle, and then there are 4 sort of trump cards, the rockets that win everything. So if I have the 6 pink or 6 red. Is that pink or is that red? The 6 maroon in front of me. Maroon? Mojang? Okay. So if I have the 6 in front of me, I just need to win the trick that has that 6 in it. I don't need to win with the trick. And you play the game until all of these tasks are completed or until you
failed one.
You fail one, basically.
Because there's only one of each number, so if Tom has the task of the pink 6 and I win a trick with the pink 6 in it, we have then failed because that task didn't complete, and it's win as a team, die as a team.
Right, and actually, we're focusing on tasks a little bit. So you get this logbook. It is supposed to be played as a campaign, first of all, which I didn't do, and I kind of wouldn't want to do for reasons I'll get into in a minute. But a lot of them are surrounded by task cards, most of them are, but some of them are not. Like the 50 one is you need to have a player who only wins the first 4 tricks, and a player who only wins the last trick, and the other players have to win all the tricks in between. Or 26 is you need to win 2 tricks with a 1, which means you need to get rid of all of that color except for the 1, and then lead with the 1, and then the other players need to play not rockets, right? And you need to do that twice. And so there's other ways to make it really hard. Not just the task cards themselves, but yeah, that's a big part of it.
And now this is one of those games where you're not allowed to talk with each other, kind of like the Mind or the Game or any of those, where like part of what makes it difficult is you can't say, ooh, I have this card, make sure you set me up so I can do it, or I need to win, I need to get rid of this one before I can do it, because that would make it way too easy. Mm-hmm. You do, however, get a communication token, and everybody gets one of them, and that is the only way that you're allowed to communicate. And the way that you use these is you get to play one card face up in front of you and put this token either at the top of it, in the middle, or at the bottom of it, meaning this is the highest card of this suit that I have, this is the only card of this suit I have, or this is the lowest card of the suit I have. So you do need to be strategic when you use this to make sure that you are conveying enough information and that your people you're playing with are smart enough to understand what you're trying to say. Where if like I say the 2 is the highest card of this trick that I have, and my task is I need to win something with like a green 3 in it, then I'm saying I'm not going to win a trick with greens, so you need to play that green on a trick that green 3 on a trick that I am going to win
in a different suit.
That it's a different suit, so that's a throwaway card.
Or I need to get rid of this green 2 so that I can win with a trump card with the rocket. Yeah, I don't know. But the point is, I mean, especially if, I guess the campaign thing would work if you play with the same players all the time, because you guys get better at knowing what the other person's trying to say. The only reason why I said why I did not and would not want to really do a full campaign is twofold. One, the idea of a campaign in a game doesn't really make me excited anymore. We drove out to Chick-fil-A earlier, and my nephew, his son, Jason, who's 4, he was freaking out because there was a carnival and all the lights, and they were so crazy, and he's like, wow, the lights and the carnival, it's so cool. And I was like, I cannot remember the last time I saw a carnival and got excited. And unfortunately, that's the way I'm starting to get about campaign games. I can't
Especially legacy campaigns.
especially well, and this isn't legacy, but or actually, I guess you can mark your progress and stuff. But like, because I used to get really excited about that. I used to like Descent. I used to be like, oh, look at this campaign book. I bought the campaign book for Descent. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be so excited about it. But also, even that aside about the idea that I just don't really like campaigns all that much, but it's kind of like the first couple are just mostly to teach you a trick-taking game. Like, I played the first few, and I was like, with people who are familiar with trick-taking games a lot, I was like, okay, let's jump over to this one, because it's gonna be a lot of the same for a while, like with one task card or with 2 task cards. Granted, those games are gonna take 2 minutes, but I don't want to do them.
Yeah. So overall, I feel like I definitely enjoyed this game. Like, it's a great, solid game. But in terms of like trick-taking games, I definitely prefer competitive ones. I like the idea of like beating other players and fighting over tricks. Like, I don't know. Honestly, the cooperative nature of this one didn't do it for me. Like,
I don't know. Because I got used to trick-taking games with by playing spades a lot.
Yeah.
And that feels like you've got a partner, right?
But you also have the competition of the other team that you're trying to beat.
Yeah.
I feel like I would much rather play... Like, if you play spades all the time and you need to swap it up, like, this is a great way to do it. Or if you don't... Like, if you get tired of playing antagonistically. But personally, playing this, I was like, oh, this is cool. Can we play spades now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I liked it more than you. I agree that it's not the great... Like, okay, I think it won one of the Spiel things. All I know is that people on social media were talking this up a lot for a while. And I don't think it lived up to the hype. But my bigger complaint with it wouldn't be that it's... I think it's more the logbook portion of it, because you could spend some time bouncing around trying to find the sweet spot for your group, assuming you're not playing with the same people all the time. You could be like, this one's a little too... Okay, this one was too hard. This one was too easy. This one's just right. And also, I do have a friend who is partially colorblind, and he said that the symbols in the top left didn't really help him as much. And what he said is like, why didn't they just do different artwork for the different suits? Because they have different artwork for the number. Like, the 9s have the same artwork, but why didn't they have all the pinks have the same artwork and then have all the greens have the same artwork? And I was like, oh yeah, that probably would have fixed it.
There'd be less artwork in the game.
Yeah.
You'd only have 4 different pieces of art, so it'd be a little bit less dynamic.
I mean, but you're still... The whole point of having the same artwork is the idea that you can like flip through real fast and see what... You know what I mean? Like, there's so much delineating it, so you know exactly what you have in your hand by just a quick glance. But I mean, that's a minor complaint.
Yeah. I will say, like, your complaints with the logbook being like you're trying to figure out what you want to do, I'd much rather that be there than there be like, oh, we'll just draft out tasks and play. Because
of course,
like, it's nice that there is that variety, that there's a different, like, you're playing the same game but you have a different objective in the game. Like, that is nice with this one. Of
course. I'm glad that it's there, but it can take a couple of times, assuming you're not playing with the same group of players. And I think this game was intended to be playing with the same group of players the whole time. It's just the idea that it was intended to be played with the same group of players the whole time. I really think that that's like, they designed it as a campaign to be played with the same group of players all the time. And you can not do it that way, but there's a couple of speed bumps in the way of doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have rambled about this game for a little while, but overall, I mean, I did enjoy it, even though I had some negatives with it. I do think it's a great game, especially if a cooperative trick-taking game, like, excites you. I can highly recommend this game, so you should definitely click on the purchase link down below and get a copy.
And while you're down there, you can check out our link for Game Toppers. That's this awesome tabletop we're filming on right here. Also down there is going to be a little button that says subscribe. If you subscribe to our channel, you'll never be bored. Listen, when you join the crew, it's like joining the boys. Well, if it ain't the invisible